Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another episode of a Trials of BRR review. And in this video I'm going to be reviewing the third trial of BRR, which is the trial narrative. But before we get into the videos, I just want to do a friendly reminder to everybody that you can like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I can see that most of you here are not subscribed by this statistic, and it would be most appreciative if you guys actually go ahead and click that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. The purpose of this trial is to see how Glovers go about working on their storytelling with how they interpret the concepts in their arsenal. A simple concept that writers and authors do in storytelling is creating a miniature version of the structure that their story will flow through, called the mini 3-act structure. Glovers can apply this to their show, not only with the show overall, but with the concepts they know. In this challenge, the goal is to show me how you introduce a concept, then show me how you expand and explore the many intricacies within the concept, then finally resolve the concept to completion before moving on to another concept with its introduction until you feel you have demonstrated enough. The show as a whole doesn't have to follow the storytelling structure, as it is not about the show as a whole, but how a Glover learns their concept from basic to most advanced. Now that we got that out of the way, let's watch my initial reactions to the submissions before talking about them individually.
Let the bouncing begin!
Very nice with the pogo. Very interesting to see how it's using the music to transition and go into different concepts.
building this house on the moon like a lost astronaut, looking at you like a star from a place the world forgot. And there's nothing that I can do except bury my love for you. The brightness of the sun will give me just enough to bury my love. In the moon dust, I long to hear your voice, but still I make the choice to bury my love. In the moon dust, nothing can breathe in the space colder than the darkest sea. I have dreams about the days driving through your sunset breeze. But the first thing that I will do is bury my love for you. The brightness of the sun will give me just enough to bury my love. In the moon dust, I long to hear your voice, but still I make the choice to bury my love.
Take note of his
In
thumb.
the moon dust, I'm a castaway, and men reap what they sow, and I say what I know to be true. Yeah, I'm living far away on the face of the moon. I've buried my love to give the world to you. The brightness of the sun will give me just enough to bury my love. In the moon dust, I long to hear your voice, but still I make the choice to bury my love. In the moon dust. I buried my love in the moon dust. Yeah.
If you haven't seen any of his previous videos, I suggest you do so, as it really showcases how a newer generation of Glover are very quick to learn and understand the concepts that gloving has cultivated over the years, and isn't a part of the Facebook groups, which isn't a bad thing, mind you. As you watch his video, you definitely see what I was looking for with the introduction of concepts. These are very basic in terms of movements and number of steps needed to perform, but gradually expand as you can see him go outside his simple liquid into more flow dynamic moveset that are within the small subset of moves, which shows how a Glover knows where concepts fit within the greater dynamics of gloving. It's a return to familiar concepts as the resolution before he moves on to more technical concepts, which he uses his musicality to transition into those concepts, which lends to the storytelling flow aspect. While it was short-lived, the technical aspect of his show is definitely showcasing how a Glover can use parts of the previous concept chain to help make the new concept fit into the overall show without feeling disjointed. Granted, he goes back to the previous concept, but makes the effort to go back to the technical concepts and expand even further. I can tell that Vio is very limited in the technical department, but it's hard to ask someone who is new to the art, as opposed to someone who has been doing this for 12 years straight, to equally have the same amount of technical concepts in their arsenal. However, what he doesn't know in terms of concepts, he makes up by blending what he knows together at the end to become multiple concepts combined into a single segment. Okay, now getting his last video. Okay, before everyone asks me what is it that you just witnessed, some context. Before Genghis Rast submitted his video, he asked me if he could send what he would call an imaginary show. Well, what does he mean by that? Well, what is imagination? It's a faculty or action of forming new ideas or images or even concepts of external objects not present to the senses. In this case, he's presenting everything the viewer needs to make up the show they want, and the only thing you will notice of his own design is the emotional display near the end. This is allowing the viewer to interpret the show in their own way, but still being a Genghis Rast show. Now, I know what you're thinking.
But Peter, how are you to interpret that without the creator telling you what it is? Isn't that against the rules?
No, it isn't, because it wasn't something in the rules to begin with. Plus, viewers need to understand how important context is. So I count this as going outside the box, or going beyond the parameters. I think people should be allowed to explain what they're trying to convey, and the following conversation is the art, allowing different lenses of subjectivity to flourish. This is important to gloving as a whole when it comes to the different styles within it, from the historically fundamental styles of impacting and conjuring, to the newer evolutions of the pillars like platforming and teleporting, to even outliers like morphing and abstracting. With his presentation, we're given a chance to look at every single detail with his lights, the shapes of his hands, and everything in between. If you notice that one thumb has a slightly different tint from the other, which begs the question as to why that is. Is it because he's using different flashing patterns? Is it because one of them has low batteries? These are things that art tries to manifest within your mind, because that is what art is supposed to do, invoke thought and imagination. Now the final question that needs to be asked. Did they pass the trial? For Vio, I would say yes, as he did show his understanding of the parameters of this challenge. He may not have tried breaking any of those rules, but he did subvert them with how he performed near the end, as it showed how he understands story structure on a micro and macro level, coupled with his musicality to transition into different concepts. For Genghis Rast, of course he did, because just look at his show. If this isn't what art is about, then I don't know what art is to begin with.
3 days later.
And that is it. That is pretty much all for this video. Yes, I know with the style that I did with this video is to mark the change that I'm actually doing to make different styles of content. And I know some of you are going to be like, well, this feels like a lot of some of the other videos you made, which is true, but you need to understand I'm literally working with what I already know and what I've already done to try to expand on different styles of content. That's the goal. I'm trying. I'm slowly implementing this stuff, but yes, I am going to be trying a lot more. So, I certainly hope you guys enjoyed what I had to say in this video. I certainly hope that the people who have submitted enjoyed the feedback that I give to you guys, because really liking the video, the content is just really interesting to see. That's pretty much all I have to say. So, if you're somebody who's been interested in doing these trials, I will certainly say we only got 2 more trials left. I know I released the 4th trial, which is the trial Discovery, which I kind of hinted towards in this video. That's already out, so if you want to try to get into the later trials, go ahead. I will definitely be using this as a way of evaluation, so I can, when I decide to bring this back and do the trials of BRR again, I will now have the experience and knowledge, to actually try to get more people involved and try to get more participation from the community. But all in good time. Other than that, please like and share, subscribe to my channel. It helps me a whole lot. You guys have no idea how much that actually does help, and it's all absolutely for free. And if you wish to help me out in other ways, please consider donating to my Ko-Fi. As little as $1 a month helps a whole lot, and I can't stress that enough. So please consider doing that for me. Other than that, I am your host, Peter, aka LPG8 Dubuque, and I'll see you guys all next time.